I'm here with slightly wet hair. It is Monday, October 13th, 2025. It is 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I'm at right now. I got my blanket on my lap because it's kind of chilly. And I have a ton of work to do today, so this is not going to be long. However, I just wanted to jump on and speak for a moment. All right, so hello and welcome. It is Indigenous Peoples Day, and no one is illegal on stolen ground. So I just wanted to pop on and say hello. It's Monday. I have been getting in the habit of starting live streams before my day starts, although I've already had my first meeting and then I have a bunch of stuff to do. So, hello, welcome. This is just a brief live. I wanted to jump on and share some thoughts about being an American and what it's always meant to me. Always aware, even as a young girl, that this land belonged to other people and that the only reason why I'm here is because of millions and millions and millions and millions of people being killed in a genocide that is 100 times worse than the Holocaust. Yet it's people get offended when you mention anything being like a Holocaust, like the Holocaust, the Holocaust where the 6 million Jews were killed was horrific. But what really bothers me as a pale-skinned person living on stolen land is that we were not taught. You're not taught the truth when you're growing up and you're going to school here. At least I wasn't taught the truth that the genocide of the native indigenous people, let's see, how many indigenous people in the Americas were killed. The Trail of Tears, the So while the exact number is unknown, hi, Leona Gonzalez, welcome. The genocide of the indigenous people by the European colonizers who came to this country, they believed that it was free land for them to take and just steal. Although in order to do that, they had to kill so many people, but they were okay with that. So the fact is that, let me spin this back around. Growing up as an American in school, we're not taught about the 100 times worse of a Holocaust on the land that we live in. I was taught about manifest destiny, and I remember thinking in 7th grade, like, wait, so this group of white people came over here and they decided it was their destiny to spread like parasites across an entire land and to kill everybody who was here so that it could be theirs? Hello, Evan Shaw. Welcome. Just a quick note. Well, if a couple more people drop in, I'll say my little disclaimer. And I need a sip of water. Please hold. So anyway, I'll give my quick little spiel. Hello, welcome. This is a safe space for LGBTQIA+, and not a safe space for racists, homophobes, transphobes, xenophobes, or anybody who thinks that a human being could be illegal. If you're MAGA, you know, you're not welcome here. And when I'm looking at comments, you like my hair? Thank you. It's sort of wet and half drying because I got out of the shower a little while ago. So anyway, that's my little spiel. Hello, Cesar Blanco. So I have like a ton of work to do. So sometimes I like to get on these lives and then I'm like, oh, I'm only going to be here for a few minutes, and then I end up being on for an hour, but I simply cannot do that today. So let me pop back on the thing I was showing. So what they don't teach kids like me in school is that how many people were killed, and how this so-called land, our land, became our land. And just got a text from one of my sweet clients, and oops, it's just really sad, and it's on one hand it's cringe and pathetic, but at the other level of that, the other end of that spectrum, it's evil, it's murderous. And the fact is that there are people who, did I mention that my policy is ignore, yeet, and delete anybody who would say that a person is an illegal. The idea that you would put someone in a category like that, you're a Nazi, you are a Nazi, those are Nazi talking points. Those are the things that Hitler and the brown shirts and all of those disgusting, despicable, evil, murderous devils, that's what they talk like. That's what they think about other people. The idea that just because somebody was born on another piece of land on this planet where we're all human beings, and their first language was a different language than yours, and your small-minded, evil little rotten brain can actually think of a human being as an illegal because you want to steal their land, and you want to claim that what was theirs is yours. And in order to do that, you have to kill them, either kick them off or kill them and steal their resources. Like, most wars are about land and resources and military positioning. Money, power, land. People say, oh, it's religion, it's religion. No, religion is just a tool. I wish I could get off your land, to be honest. I have thought about that my whole life. Like, I don't feel comfortable living on stolen land, although my dad was born here, my grandpa was born here, but I don't have any land to go back to. I don't have anywhere else that I could go that, it's not like I was born somewhere else that's my home. But even if I was born somewhere else that was my home, then you can get out of here. Okay, if you're here to be hateful, then you're not welcome, because the only thing that is hated here is homophobic, racist, xenophobic, MAGA. And while I do believe that anyone of Native descent could have anger and feel angry towards pale-skinned people or anyone they want to, the fact is, like, well, this is what I'm trying to say. I was born here. I didn't ask to be born on land that people stole. My father didn't ask to be born here. His father didn't ask to be born here. But even still, even though I'm 3 generations born here, I still feel that people who were born somewhere else have every right. I mean, there's like the reality of things that have happened. There's the reality of where we are now. There's what is the right, like, what's the right thing to do? And then there's like, what can you do? And all of those various things don't always equal out to a happy ending or to the best case scenario for everyone. And I certainly don't have all the answers. I'm just a mom of 2 young kids, trying to live my life, trying to earn a living, have a clean, safe space to live, like I believe that everybody should have a right to do. I personally don't think it really matters where you were born and where you live, as far as like all of these borders and rules and like killing people and putting people in concentration camps and refusing to let people live and work. Like, none of it makes sense to me. I do believe that there has to be some kind of land possession is a silly concept, Brad G says. Creates division, which creates anger and fighting. Just got to help each other out and try to get through life. I mean, that's true on some level, but then, like, but you can steal land. Like, if somebody, like the people who were here first, and when I say first, I'm saying that, you know, hundreds of years ago, there were millions and millions and millions of people here. This was an entire country with, just like it has diversity, and you know, not every part of the United States is alike. I mean, even you just drive half an hour away from where I am and it's completely different. Actually, you can drive 5 minutes away and it's like a different vibe, you know? And I mean, recently I saw a photograph on this website on Facebook. On this group on Facebook. It's like a local town group, and it shows pictures of this town, you know, 100 years ago or whatever. And to see most of it just like raw land, and then a few of the streets starting, and there's this big huge park where my son plays, and you know, he does sports there. And I've always felt growing up, again, I'm vegan, and when I was little, I mean, even now, if I ever see like meat, so-called meat on a plate, hey, happy soul caddy, hi, Govind Chowdhury. So when I see like pieces of flesh on a plate, I feel like it's a corpse. So Aboriginals in Australia claim they own Australia for 80,000 years before. Yet historians know they fought. What difference does that make, you fucktard? Get out of here. Aboriginals did own. It is theirs. That's my point. Like, wait one sec. Sorry. So ignore, yeet, and delete people who immediately let themselves, when you show that you're hateful, thank you. Thank you for letting me see that you are a pea-brained turd, and that you immediately get deleted and yeeted, because you're not welcome here. This is a safe space for kind-hearted people, people who love, and people who care, people who want to heal from trauma, people who understand that human beings are not illegals, and people who are not racist, people who are not xenophobic. If you are those things, then you will be ignored, yeeted, and deleted, because I don't give a fuck about you. I'm not here to make you feel good. This ain't your place. I'm not here to debate you. I'm not here to make you feel valid. You have a million other places where you could go. So go fuck off and go do your fucking evil shit elsewhere. This is a place for kind-hearted people, yes, who curse. Kind-hearted people, it's like I said, it's kumbaya, fuck you. I care. It's all one. We're all sweet and loving until you step into this place with your hatred. Then you can get the fuck out, because this is a safe space for kind people who want to feel safe and who want to discuss serious, deep topics while at the same time realizing that diversity is what makes life worth living and makes it livable. You cannot live in a homogenous monoculture, because that is death. Every single thing that tries to grow in a monoculture dies, and that includes human beings. So the people who are like that, they're not welcome here. But you know what's so sad to me? Those kind of evil fucking people are all over. They are a virus. They are a parasite. You know, that sounds kind of Nazi, but, you know, but the thing is that some people think it's gross. So, hi, Evelyn Franzing. So, it's sad that so many people choose to live hatefully. So many people just can't see past that pea brain mind where they recognize that everything is better when there's diversity. Every single thing. There's not one thing in life that's better being homogenous. And nature doesn't thrive in homogeny. Nature doesn't thrive where there is no diversity. Even within things that are supposedly the same, there's a ton of diversity. Go look at any garden where someone is growing anything. You're growing cucumbers. There's diversity within the cucumbers. Tomatoes. There's diversity within that. Look at trees of the same species or flowers of the same species. Look at human beings. You think that there's races and colors and all this stuff. That's made up shit. It's made up. The words that I'm saying right now are fucking sounds coming out of my mouth. They're made up things that people agree on what it means. And just like culture and human beings and your garden and all of these things, they change, they evolve, they grow. And only a small-minded, sick, bizarre type of wacko wants everything to be the same. Even in your everyone is the same. Diversity is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful word. It's a beautiful way to live because it's the only way to live. Anytime you try, think about those cultures that try to make everybody the same. Hey, Dre, like in those Mormon, those, like, thank you, Govind. Yeah, they spread negativity. But like, when I see religions or cultures or cults where everybody's wearing the same exact thing, it just looks so creepy. Trying to make everybody be the same when everybody is different, that is a weird way to try to control human beings. And it's something that there's a certain type of people who that's how they want to control. They want to try to control everybody else. So K King, I'm not sure what your point is. You're saying that's how they want to live. Why judge? I don't know if you mean that in a positive way, like, if other people want to live the way they live, why judge? I agree with that. But if you mean like making everybody be the same, no. It is a cult, Chad. A cult. Like, religion is a cult. Being racist is a cult. In order for you to be racist, hi Izzy Dizzy, judging does not make you a bad person. So you're saying that judges are bad people because they have the ability to discern? See, that's a funny thing right there, because there's a lot of ignorant people who think that because you have discernment and you can make a decision, or you can have an opinion, that means you're judging. Now, being judgmental, I am being judgmental. Judging something does not make you judgmental. When you say this is this and this is this and this is this, that doesn't mean you're being judgmental. Being judgmental is when you say this is this and therefore you're bad. Do I think you're bad if you're racist? Yes. Am I judgmental against racist people? Yes. because they are evil and they are using this ridiculous self-beneficial logic where everybody else that they don't like is not equal, and they want to do them harm. What do I want to do to racists? I want to yeet them from my chat. I don't want to engage with them. I don't want to discuss or debate with them. Can they walk around free being racist? Yes, they can. Do I like it? No, I don't. But do I want to lock them up in cages? No, I didn't say that. That's the difference. Racist people want to lock up the people they don't like in cages and get rid of them and kill them, just like they did to all the indigenous people. Why? Because they want the land and they want the resources and they want the power and they want the control. So what I'm doing is saying that I am prejudiced against racist people. I'm prejudging you. I am determined. I've decided that if you think that other people, based on the color of their skin or the religion that they practice or the who they love or whatever makes them a bad person, then therefore you can take away their rights and stuff, then I think that you're a bad person. Then I think that you're somebody who, good morning, Nicholas Shaden. I respect other people's choice of how they want to live, unless you're trying to take away other people's rights. You see, that's what I'm saying. That until what you think is okay, if you think that what is okay is ripping people off the street and throwing them wherever you want to get rid of them, if that's what you think is the way to live, then that's not the way to live. Okay? I do agree. Hi, Charles, right? That all religions are cults, although some people do use their belief in God in positive ways. So it's ignorant if you think that it's a political point of view to think that other human beings don't deserve the right to live. Oh, thank you, Charles. Like, if you actually think that because somebody else, like, political point of view, if you're trying to cover up being racist or xenophobic with the word political point of view, but what's underneath that euphemism is that you think other people don't have the same rights as you, then you're just putting flowers on top of shit and then expecting somebody to be like, we're just debating a different opinion. No, you're trying to treat other human beings as if they're not human beings. Okay? You look evil and you will be immediately yeeted. I'm going to pause and look at some of these comments. So you look like you'll be yeeted. So the idea that the law could or should mean that you can treat other people like, people say, oh, like a dog, but they don't even treat dogs like that. So just so you know, anybody who's here to genuinely ask certain questions that I don't engage in, I want you to recognize that if you're asking a question that you could easily Google, and I feel that it is like a red herring question, like sometimes people act ignorant, they feign ignorance. So either you really truly are that ignorant, and if so, then I'm not here to debate with kindergartners, okay? If you're so ignorant that you can't understand certain basic things that, like what I'm trying to say, then, okay, so I don't know what you're trying to... All right, so I'm going to just ignore some of these comments because you can't Google that. What are you talking about? Charles, what's my favorite color? My favorite color is pink, light pink, baby pink. So, well, Andre, I'm not really sure what you're trying to get at. I'm looking at your questions, but it's not making sense to me, Baby Pink, of course. And I have a policy that I like to try to, share what I'm sharing to get my thoughts out. And when I see people who are asking questions that I perceive as not genuine, because I feel like some of them are so easy to answer yourself. If you're not racist, if you're not xenophobic or homophobic, or those things, then there's certain questions that don't come out of your mouth because you don't formulate them in your mind, because you just kind of know. You just know because you're not racist. So only a certain kind of mindset or type of person who is a bad faith questioner, who's not genuinely trying to engage, but they're trying to create these argumentative debates to try to sound really smart and to make it seem like there's some kind of both sides of it, when the reality is I don't fuck with you. I don't roll with a pig in mud, because that's what they enjoy and I don't. That's why I ignore, yeet, and delete. So I'm going to ignore, yeet, and delete you because it has nothing to do with anything. Okay. And Andrea, maybe you can ask your question again, because if you're going to ask, the fact that you would put that word in your mouth to ask a question just makes me feel that, I don't know, I just think that you're just being problematic. Okay, so let me get rid of some of these losers. And so we're all illegal wherever we're born, because society we're born in. So, I mean, that's, so I don't know. That's kind of a dumb thing to say. You're gonna get yeeted, and exactly. Well, then go fuck with him then. So, pigs roll in mud. Yeah, exactly. They're doing it because they can't help it, because it's just a part of who they are. And so if you're trying to have a conversation, like, I don't engage with people that think, see, in order for you to believe that other people are somehow less than you, or you can call them illegal, or because they were born on different land that they have no right to be on this land, and that because you don't like the paperwork that they did, or you don't like, the thing about these people are like, well, just follow the law. The law makes the process take like a decade. It's incredibly difficult. It's intentionally difficult and expensive, and it just makes no sense. It makes no sense for decent people who just want to work and be part of society, for them to go through those things. My kid just, it really can. So, teaching a class on empathy, I don't think you can teach other people. You see that's exactly what the fucking stupid people say. Like, oh, then come and let them live in your house then. Like, that makes no sense. Did I say let everybody come and live in my house? No. The solution is to create an environment where people can come and live and work, and they're not treated like criminals. And then people who are actual criminals to be given the due process that they deserve, so that it can be proven whether or not they did the crime, and then whatever the appropriate thing would be. Although, I think that our prison system is, well, I know that our prison system is basically just another kind of slavery. So, okay, well, you can do that and get the fuck out of here. So, it's not hypocritical, you fucking idiot. One group of people are saying, we don't like you, so we're going to put you in cages, we're going to put you on airplanes and send you to countries that you're not from, and we don't care what happens to you, we're going to put you in gulags. I'm saying, get out of my chat. I don't want to talk to you. So like for somebody to say that putting people in the concentration camp and killing them, or fly them somewhere they don't want to go, that's the same as yeeting them out of your chat. Like, are you that? That's what I'm talking about. That the double standard that you would have to be able to fucking get your brain to fucking around to literally have a thought that would say, oh my God, she doesn't like racist people who want to yeet human beings off of the fucking land or lock them up in cages and treat them like garbage and let them die there. She wants to yeet them out of her chat. She's doing the same thing. You're fucking psycho, you psycho bitch. Get the fuck out of here. My God. So, anyway. Yeah, it's really aggravating trying to deal with people. You could watch this all day. But what makes me feel so disgusted, and it just like makes my skin crawl, is to know that people are so stupid and ignorant, and that their brain is so like split, like there's no logic in there. Because like this Steve idiot, he wants to be able, like, what are you talking about? How is what the fuck I'm saying mean that you can go live on a reservation? You know, like people just want to be, people are just so evil, because you have to be evil in order to forcibly remove human beings who have come to live somewhere. They're working, they're being part of society, they're paying billions of dollars into our economy. They make everything richer and fuller and better. And then the people who want to kill them and harm them think that because I'm speaking up for them, that somehow is the same. You both sidesing it. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. What about it? So just because everybody has it means that you can't talk about it, and you can't acknowledge it, and you can't say it's wrong. Do I have a solution to it? No, I don't, but I can talk about it. I have freedom, free speech. I can say racists are fucking pigs, and xenophobic people are also pigs. Not even pigs, because I like pigs, and pigs are good people, and they don't deserve to be compared to that. You know, they're monsters. You're monsters. Hey, kid. Hold on. My kids are home today because of, hi. Oh my gosh, my teeth need so much work. Anyway, what did you say? Mass amnesty? What do you mean by that, Charles? You know, again, I don't have a solution. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm here to fix everything. I know exactly all the answers, or, you know, anything like that. Hi, Zest Complex, or X Set Complex. You know, I'm just talking. I'm just saying, hey, I was born here. My dad was born here. His dad was born here. The places that those my great grandparents came from, they're like no longer. The borders have changed. The names have changed. It's not the same anymore. Do I have solutions? No. But every day when I walk around here, I feel the spirit of the Native Americans. I've always felt it. And I've always identified with like the feeling. Thank you, ELE Ghost, for saying I'm so pretty and I look like a sweetheart. Hi, Stephen Shem. Nice to see you. I've always, like I was saying, you know, as a kid, when there was like pieces of flesh on my plate, and I would be like, I could see the spirit of the animal, like, friend, not food, and don't eat me. And um, I can, like, when I would go outside, so I had a very, very traumatic childhood. I would get up and leave, but I have nowhere to go. Like I said, I'm a third generation born, so-called American. There's nowhere to go. Okay, it doesn't change the fact that it was stolen. So no, I detest Trump. He's evil. Peacock says, I come from a long line of freedom fighters. My grandpa worked with Rosa Parks to start the civil rights movement. He was the guy telling her to get the... Well, if that's true, that's very cool, Peacock. That's awesome. My dad was a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War. He said, I don't agree with it. I'm not going to go over there and kill innocent people that did nothing wrong for a government who just wants control over there. I just said I don't, so ask it again and you'll be yeeted. It is very cool to have a legacy of people who, well, K. King, intellectually disabled people are not ignorant or stupid. They're intellectually disabled. Ignorant, stupid. Like, the fact that you would say that is kind of cringe, because you ought to know the difference between an ignorant, especially willfully ignorant, and stupid, moron, fucktard, all of these things. There are people who are not those things, who have learning disabilities. So you ought to be able to distinguish that, okay? There's a huge difference between somebody who ought to have all of their cognitive functioning abilities, but yet, so this is the thing about racism or xenophobia. It starts off, the basis, the first dot of the thought, the first speck of the belief that forms that thought stems from a double standard where you're putting yourself above someone else for whatever reason. Yes, I'm vegan. And what country do I think got society correct? I have no idea. The Quakers. Yeah, so that's what I was saying about the Native American, indigenous, I should say indigenous because they're not really American. I mean, they're American, but you know what I'm saying? They're indigenous to this country. They have their own names for themselves. And you know, the way they live in harmony with nature. Good morning, Nicholas. Hi. I was never a Star Trek fan. I have no idea. Was not into that kind of thing. So I don't know anything about that. But living in harmony with nature, like, you know, obviously they did eat and kill animals, and I don't know what you're talking about, Peacock. But the fact that and again, when I say they, I'm kind of glomming many different cultures of indigenous people together, which I'm not intending to do. I'm just saying, you know, throughout the variety of the people who lived there as well, they didn't all have the same beliefs. They didn't, you know, obviously, that's what I'm saying. There was huge diversity across the indigenous people, and it's a pride, all-inclusive pride flag that has this is the intersex and trans and all people of color and all LGBTQ plus. So, well, whatever. I mean, does that make it right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it happens all the time. Like, what the fuck? So you can't talk about it? You see, there's this evil people. No, I'm not Native American. I am, I mean, like I said, I was born here, and my dad was, and his parents, and, you know, I guess we would have been, my great grandparents came from like Eastern European, I guess. Trump. Fuck Trump. Charles says, FYI, society on Star Trek is communist utopia in the best possible way. They have moneyless, classless society and no food shortage because they can make food with the replicators. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you know, I drive around my town and there's like tons of, okay, so you've got to go. There's tons of like big, huge lawns where they're not growing anything but pesticide riddled grass. And hello, chef. Hi. Yeah, I really can't stay long either. I gotta go. You know, and it's the ultimate, like, fuck you, I'm rich. I don't have to grow shit. I just have this big lawn. Like, I'm so rich that I can just waste land. And anyway, I just wanted to say, like, I've always felt a connection to the land, but the land has always felt deeply, like, I feel that the spirit of the indigenous people is interwoven into every leaf and every tree and every blade of grass. And let's eat this fucking idiot who would say something so disgusting. By the way, Columbus was a murderous, evil, rapist. He was a horrible, disgusting criminal. And he died known as a criminal. And, you know, the fact that we now have a criminal sitting in the so-called White House is kind of a testament to how it all began, that they would call this day a day of celebration, to celebrate another evil man. I mean, they did so many evil things. That's what I was saying, like the insanity of how, like, people get so mad about, like, oh my God, I can't believe you would ever compare anything to the Holocaust, because supposedly the Holocaust is like the worst thing that ever happened. And it's like, wait, so 6 million Jews dying is bad, it's horrible, but 100 million indigenous people being killed is not comparable. That's insane. But they don't teach you about it, you know. They don't talk about it because they want to say, oh, we conquered them, it was our manifest destiny. And I didn't say I would see things the same way. And did I say I wanted to run for president? Did I say I had all the answers? Like, that's what abusive people do. Abusive people who don't have anything positive to offer, who only want to fight you and debate you and somehow prove you wrong, they get up on your thing and they try to just prove you wrong. They make these stupid little, they think they're making these really pithy little points, like, aha, but all lands are conquered. Oh, okay, so I can't speak my truth. I can't say that I've always felt the spirit of those people here. I've always felt that it was wrong. Growing up, I've always known that it's not okay. So anyway, guys, I have a million things to do, and I also have to go to they got them sick. What are you talking about? So anyway, sorry, I'm pausing because I'm just deleting a few people. But anyway, I'm going to hang up. See you.